One of the things you mentioned that was interesting in the Atlantic article, divorce was a national debate. It was a national issue that gained national publicity, and everyone around talked about the effects of easy divorce on the family and on the social ills that it created. We don't have that in America. We don't have a national debate about no-fault divorce. I think it can be partly attributed to the fact that each no-fault law is a state-by-state issue, so we've sort of fragmented it into 50 different pieces. But there are commonalities with no-fault divorce, and I think those commonalities should be put out into the public sphere as a national debate to talk about how that leads to the other social ills that we're so often discussing.
You mentioned they had a national debate about the breakdown of the family. One of the things that I would like to know is why the states don't ask people that are filing for divorce, give us a compelling reason why we should grant this divorce. What is really happening? Do you realize that in the vast majority of cases, if we grant this divorce, your kids are going to be screwed up? Do you realize that they may actually go way off the deep end? Do you realize that if you stick through this marriage and work through these problems, you may be happier than ever? And do you realize that if you get this divorce, there may be more conflict in the future? You may be thinking you're solving problems, but you will be creating more problems. Why doesn't the state or the courts, why aren't they asking these people, tell us the reason that we should grant you this divorce, versus just, oh, you want it? Okay, good enough.
That's a really good question, and it's actually kind of two questions I saw in there, but it seemed to be that we were talking about Russian no-fault, and it came from a very ideological standpoint of, the socialist revolution and rebuilding society as a new sort of utopia. I think there's, on the opposite end of the coin, there's an ideology, or sort of what maybe would be termed the capitalist ideology or something, of the industry behind the court system and all of the perverse financial incentives that are infused in the court system, whether it be from lawyers or states. I mean, the divorces that can be pushed out, more profitable it is for a lot of different special interest groups. So I think one of the reasons why they don't discourage or they don't ask specific questions as to why you're getting a divorce is because they want to make it easier.
So they've got a financial interest in seeing families destroyed more rapidly and quickly.
There's certainly a financial interest, and if they're not making more money, they're certainly making the same amount of money with less effort. So in either case, one can make the financial argument.
Yeah.
If the judges themselves are not profiting because they're public, they make public salaries that are set, they're not necessarily making more money per se themselves, but they're working less for it. And they're certainly making the pockets bigger for their colleagues who are private attorneys. So there are those perverse incentives. And then the other thing you alluded to actually was what happens after divorce. I think a lot of people have a misconception that divorcing is going to lead to some sort of better, grass is greener on the other side.
Yeah.
And I think the majority of the cases people find out the hard way that that's couldn't be farther from the truth.
Yeah.
I saw someone was posting on Facebook about parental alienation that she experienced with her children. And I asked her the question, I said, did you experience parental alienation before divorce? And she said, well, yes, I already told you that. And I said, well, was it better or worse after the divorce? And she said, 100 times worse.
Yeah, exactly.
I said, that's my point.
Yeah.
You may be experiencing some very difficult situations, and certainly that was the case in my family. And in this woman's case, experiencing parental alienation while she was still married. Divorcing did not solve the problem. In fact, it made it way worse.
Yeah. Let me take that one step further there too. When my ex-wife filed for divorce, I think it was within 2 weeks my daughter got pregnant. There are other things that happened. She got pregnant the second time. It all relates back directly to my ex-wife filing for divorce. You can see the cause and effect. It's crystal clear. If you can't see it, it's because you're blind.